Welcome back, friends, to musicmoose.org. We've been having a good old time explaining some basics to you, scales and arpeggios, major and minor chords, and I feel it's time for the need to learn to start picking out some basic melodies so you can start working on building up some lead breaks to some songs. And before we get in depth with that, I guess I'm going to explain the use of the G run, of course. That will tie right into our beginning building blocks of building leads here. Now with the G run, you've probably heard people say it was made by Lester Flatt, or you know, maybe someone else back then had played it and Lester heard it and took it and put it out there as the forefront of the you know, guitar runs for rhythm, where you can intertwine a little run in there at the end of a progression or between chords. It kind of lets you know that a change is coming or the end is coming at the end of the song. So the G run. Okay, I know I just did that a little quick, but right out of the G, we're going down to from the 6th string to the 4th string, and basically a G, supposed to slow it down and break it down real basic there. And I left out one note there. There's a few different ways of phrasing the G run, okay? Basically, it's a lot like the little arpeggios we had touched on a few lessons back with G, C, and D. So if I took that G run, you can hear how I just ended my little rhythm there with it, or right to the C. Added another note and climbed up to the C. And if I was to do the same thing with the C, you can see it's very similar to an arpeggio. Really, it could be considered an arpeggio because I can do that same phrasing over any chord change, really. Okay, so I'm going to do the 3 together: a G run, a C run, and a D run. How about that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. G, C, and D. I know I went through that a little quick, but it's really not that difficult. Okay, now in that run you're hearing a little bit of a hammer-on, and with a lot of these guitar lead picking techniques, you're going to have hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, some different techniques to get you going there in the lead world. Now a hammer-on, if I went, basically I'm hammering on the note. I hit the note and then hammer on up to that B there. So if I went, okay, that was a hammer on. Now if I was to do a pull off, that means I would fret the note, pick it, and pull off. Very wonderful technique. There was a G run and a backwards G run pull-offs going. this will get us on our way to creating some lead patterns. It will emphasize a little more in depth on these runs, and you can see how these runs and arpeggios right out of the basic chord shapes, we'll be able to start building a lead without going all up and down the neck and getting too crazy. We're going to keep it right here in the first position, and in the next little session we'll get into picking out some vocal melodies and trying to incorporate that into lead work along with the G run and C run and D run. All right. Thank you, Mooses. We'll see you next time here at musicmoose.org.